We are here today with Matt Pinnell, Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Oklahoma. Welcome on board the AEM Manufacturing Express, and thank you for being on board with equipment manufacturing in Oklahoma.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Wow, and you brought the great weather.
Yes, we did. Yeah, it's going to be nice today.
Yes,
yeah.
It is. Talk to me a little bit about why manufacturing and equipment manufacturing is so important to Oklahoma.
Well, right at the top, we have over 3,500 manufacturers manufacturing something inside the state of Oklahoma. So we're a huge manufacturing state. That's a big part of our brand. We're also have two of the largest maintenance repair facilities in the entire country. You're just a few minutes from the largest maintenance repair facility for American Airlines in the world. So we don't just make things, we also repair things for really Americans to live and thrive. And so manufacturing is a backbone of Oklahoma, and you really are right now in really the manufacturing hub of Oklahoma as well. Tulsa, Broken Arrow, where we are right now. You could throw a rock and hit a manufacturer anywhere that you throw that rock around here. So it's a big part of our brand. It's a big, huge part of our workforce as well. Most of the folks that you see kind of in the Tulsa, Broken Arrow area, they're working for some manufacturer. That means they're spending money, they're raising families in these communities. Some of the best people we got.
Yeah, and we've got about 49,000 jobs that we support as an industry right here in Oklahoma.
Yeah,
so I'm glad to hear you talk so passionately about manufacturing. Obviously, sometimes having the right policies in place, help. So maybe tell us a little bit about some of the policies that you've been pushing for to keep manufacturing in Oklahoma strong.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And, a lot of this came up during COVID, too. There was a few bright spots that came out of COVID. Obviously, that wrecked the country, wrecked the world in a lot of ways. But one of the things that was very clear that came out of it was the supply chain issues that we have around the country and around the world. And so one of the programs that our Oklahoma Department of Commerce created is called this Connect program, with an X on the end is how we branded it. And it was really a supply chain database for manufacturers that we created in Oklahoma through Oklahoma Manufacturing Alliance, or the Oklahoma Department of Commerce. We created this a few years ago for our manufacturers around Oklahoma to connect with, again, that supply chain in a much healthier way to break up some of those log jams that we have around the country and around the world. I think every American was looking at, where is my product manufactured? Where am I buying things? And so that's really opened up a lot of conversation starters around dinner tables, I think, around manufacturing over the last few years. That's good for you. That's good for me as a politician. But there's also incentives that come into play. And so at our Oklahoma Department of Commerce is where all of our incentives are housed. And we have a number of financial incentives that we offer to manufacturers, really from to scale and grow their companies in Oklahoma. So, if there's a manufacturer, large or small, in Oklahoma that needs to make a capital investment to grow their business, we have grants and cash payments, quarterly cash payments that we're paying out to manufacturers across the state. The governor created a $15 million pool of dollars to pay out to manufacturers that want to scale businesses, and we want to scale manufacturing businesses in Oklahoma. But that's tough sometimes, right? That if you're operating on the margins, but you need to make a big capital investment, how do you do that? Well, the state of Oklahoma is putting our money where our mouth is, and we've created a number of incentives that manufacturers can tap into.
Well, you keep busy.
We keep busy.
On our behalf, and
yes.
We appreciate that. Oklahoma obviously is known as an energy state.
Yeah.
It's known as an agriculture state. Obviously, we like to think of it also as a manufacturing
state,
an equipment manufacturing state.
Yeah.
What do you wish more people knew about, whether it's Oklahoma or the Tulsa Broken Arrow community, in terms of its manufacturing might?
Yeah, well, you just nailed it. Oklahoma, we are known as an oil and gas state. The interesting thing is actually 45% of our energy now comes off renewables in the state of Oklahoma. Wind, a lot of wind. We're the Saudi Arabia of wind in a lot of ways. We've got a ton of solar as well, and we're getting into the hydrogen space as well. So we're really a new energy state. That's one of the things that I would talk about. And by the way, there's a lot of manufacturing around new energy jobs. And so that's something that you're going to continue to hear a whole lot of stories about, I believe, over the next decade in Oklahoma, are those new energy jobs. But the other part is just the building blocks of Oklahoma, which is, again, manufacturing. Right. And a lot of that skilled labor. We're getting more diversified as a state, and that's great for Oklahoma. The last piece of that is aerospace. So when it comes to manufacturing, we build a whole lot of jet engines in Oklahoma. We repair a lot of those jet engines as well. But the aerospace and defense industry job growth in Oklahoma, it's the number 2 industry in the state of Oklahoma today is aerospace and aviation growth. That's great for the manufacturing base in Oklahoma, or those that want to manufacture a product. I believe that aerospace and aviation could be the number 1 industry in our state within the next decade. And that's, again, a big storyline for the state of Oklahoma moving forward when it comes to manufacturing is aerospace and aviation manufacturing.
We'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
More manufacturing jobs.
That's right.
We're on a 10,000-mile cross-country road trip.
Yeah.
This
Impressive.
is... Yeah, well, thank you. This is our 28th stop here in Broken Arrow. We got about 60 more to go.
Wow.
20 states, 80 plus communities. Let's wrap up with some road trip questions.
Sure.
Favorite road trip memory?
Yeah. Well, I can tell you are right in the heart of road trip country right here in Oklahoma. We have more miles of Route 66 than any other state in the country right here in Oklahoma. Over 400 miles of Route 66. And it's just a few miles from here. So some of my earliest, kind of road trip memories were hitting Route 66, seeing the blue whale in Catoosa, and going out to the Clinton Route 66 Museum out in western Oklahoma. My family loved road trips, but they loved Route 66, and so I've got a real passion for Route 66. And the 100-year birthday of Route 66 is in 2 years, so you got to come back when we're celebrating the Route 66 centennial.
I think we got a plan.
We got a plan.
Favorite road trip snack?
I'm corn nuts guy.
Okay.
I love it, and so my kids, actually, my wife hate it because they don't like the smell of them in the car. But I love corn nuts and sunflower seeds. Both of those would be 1A and 1B.
Those are great snacks.
Oh yeah.
All right, last question. Favorite road trip song?
I'm a kid that was in high school in the 90s, and so Dave Matthews Band was kind of my band.
Yeah.
And some of my earliest concerts as well were Dave Matthews. That may age me with some people, but some people may find that cool. So Dave Matthews is usually on a loop in my car. Ants Marching and some of those earlier songs that they put out.
I think we went to
me,
high
it's
school
Dave.
about the same
There you
time,
go.
so I hear you in that.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Governor, thank you so much for
Thank
what
you.
you do. Thanks for your support, and thanks for being here with us today.
Oh, no. And listen, I appreciate you doing this and telling the story about manufacturing, not just in Oklahoma, but across the country, because I truly do believe it is the backbone of this country.
Well, amen to that.
Yeah.
Thank you.